official promoters meeting
Yes.
here in Austin, Texas. So this is it. This is where we have it on stage. New banner, lots of stuff going on.
Halfway through the show.
Yeah.
That's okay, but listen, everybody wants to know how we actually got to this point, because this was not an easy road.
Right. Well, originally it was going to be at the Palmer Auditorium, which is a huge convention center. And we get a call, and it's like, I'm sorry, we've turned it into, the COVID food bank, which is okay. We realize it. And this happened to be our contest hotel. And so we called them up, and they said, hey, bring it on. They had the venue was empty. The hotel wasn't really doing any business. So they opened up the doors. During that time, there was about 10 times that they had to cancel it. So we were kind of begging, we can do social distancing, we can do everything that's required by the CDC. And
They let all their staff go as well.
they let all their staff go. So we had one person that did everything, set the show up, help us do the chairs and everything. So the hotel's been really, really accommodating to help us go, do the show. But at the end of the day, I didn't really know if the show was going to go on until you announced it this morning.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, we're live,
For those that don't know what goes into it, now this show, that might seem new to everybody out there, but this is actually 3 years in the making. Now this originally was my show that I had in Houston. Before that, it was in Fort Worth. And then we were going to move it here. So now this is 2 years ago. Couldn't get a venue. You looked everywhere. We tried to get dates. You couldn't get dates to match. You couldn't get a venue to fit in there. So we basically had to postpone the year just to get the date this year. And then the COVID thing hit.
Right.
So, Betty, you've been scrambling. This is the first time you've had to do a show with 8 different seating charts.
Right, and that was a challenge because we had to abide by the rules of the hotel, the venue, and they were spacing everyone out 3 feet. Even if you came with that person, you can't sit next to that person, and then 6 feet on the aisles. So it was quite a challenge, and we had to do each of our time slots, like bodybuilding, classic, men's physique, all the way through to bikini tonight. I had to do a separate seating chart for each group. It was quite challenging, but we got it done.
Well, assuming things are, quote, normal next year, COVID thing's gone, we're back to specs. We have much bigger plans for this year. Talk to me about what people are going to see next year and how much bigger this is going to be.
Well, and we'll back up. So one thing that we wanted to do was originally we had martial art, we had strongman, we had arm wrestling, and we knew that had to go away because of the COVID. But because, our footprints in the NPC and the IFB, we wanted at least Austin to see, the NPC show. So it was real important that we keep that part of the show here and then build on it from next year. So luckily the NPC, represented the show here today. And so now we can continue with what we have plans for next year, which was originally this year. But we have martial arts, we have strongman, we have CrossFit, we have arm wrestling, powerlifting. So
and we're going to have a whole festival. I mean, we've actually got a great unique setup. We've got an indoor-outdoor setup, which is literally next door. This is where it was originally supposed to be. But we've already got the date.
Right, we've got the date. It's the same weekend. We've got the pavilion. You and I walked it yesterday. There's actually a huge 40,000 outdoor area that we're going to put CrossFit in there. We were talking about a 5K run with it. So we've already got planning for 2021, and hopefully the COVID's gone and we can do what we originally wanted to do.
Well, sometimes out of necessity comes great ideas. And we went to this, quote, European format. Because we do this a lot in the UK, where I put on shows, and throughout Europe they do more of this format. We did this by necessity, but you know what? It's gotten such rave review. We're literally going to have to look. I know it's a lot more work for you, buddy, for the seating, but I tell you what, it's had great advantages. The athletes love it. The fans certainly love it because they can kind of come and go in a 2-hour period, and it's really no more work for us. It's almost the same thing. What do you think, Betty?
Well, I like having a prejudging, and I like the finals because you come back, it's kind of an event, to get dressed up, you come back. So there's good and bad with it, but the competitors have said that they enjoy it because they don't have to wait all day, and it's not back and forth with, a men's group and women's group and that kind of thing. You kind of have to be close by for our normal format. So we'll see, but either way, we're just so excited that we're able to actually have the show, and we've got close to 300 crossing the stage. So that's an amazing turnout.
Yeah, listen,
and
great turnout.
The audience is great too.
Great turnout under the circumstances. We were hoping for about 300 with crossovers. That's exactly what we got. But here's the cool thing. We are here to stay. We're in the books in Austin. Ed's already secured the venue for next year. Look for the big expo next year. This thing will be about 5 times the size it is now. It's going to be absolutely huge. My prediction early, we're over 500 next year. Awesome. So look forward to that, everybody. You heard the inside scoop right here at the show.